You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome to episode number 99 of the Battered Heat Fans podcast. I am your host, Daniel Goddard. Alongside me, as always, Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
Another day of free agency, and I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm calm, man. There's a lot left to happen over the next few days before July 6th, which is the day that everything can become official, right? Right now,
A lot
folks
of
are
people
just
are talking about July 6th, though.
yeah, they are, and I don't know if you saw that that reel that Dan Lebitard put out yesterday on social media, but he was saying that the LeBron thing is 100% real, and not only that, but his agent Rich Paul came out and talked as well. And one of the things that he said was it has to be a team who's going to compete for a championship, and they have to have golf, whether it be indoors or outdoors. And Miami fits that what he's asking for. Obviously, the other two teams would be Golden State and Cleveland, but I just don't see him going back to Cleveland, man. I think it's between Golden State and Miami, and it all depends on who they can surround their star players with is what I think he's going to base his decision on.
Well, I've been hearing that Golden State doesn't have the assets to get Anthony Davis. So
Nope.
It would be basically the current Golden State team, which was a play-in team, plus LeBron James. And LeBron James, like I said, I still think he's good. I don't know if adding LeBron James though to that squad in the West gets you anywhere. But I will say the Eastern Conference is has randomly just improved quite a bit, which is really frustrating that we finally get Giannis, we finally get that star, and now the Eastern Conference decides to just beef up. And we're gonna get into that. But before we do, Norman Powell, news of the day for at least for Miami, ends up going to Chicago. My understanding is that the Heat didn't even try to create any cap space to try to bring him back. I think it's a big loss because when you look at what's left in free agency, there aren't many, if any, wing players that can create their own shot and kind of just create off the wing. I think it's a big loss. I think people are underplaying what a big loss that is.
No doubt. I think it's a big loss, but at the end of the day, you take a look at the contract he signed, right? It was 2 years, 43 million is I believe what he signed. And he just couldn't come up to that number. I mean, it's 21.5 million per year. Obviously, we know that the Heat only have around 10.5 left of their mid-level exception. And so the numbers just didn't work. I know that they tried to get rid of Jovic. They continue to try to get rid of that contract. And we talked about it yesterday. It's a contract that they're willing to attach a pick to, something that the Heat has never done in the past. They don't do that. They don't attach picks to bad assets to then get them off their books, but they're willing to do that to make some more space to continue to put this team together. And so, look, I know I would have loved to keep Norman Powell on this team. I think he would have been a perfect fit for what they're trying to build for this season. But unfortunately, the numbers just didn't match up, man. And sometimes you just have to move on. I just don't understand why he picked the Bulls. The Bulls are a lottery team. I mean, at this point,
they offered him the most money.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. He just took the most money. Can't blame him, right?
No, and on his Instagram, he put something about not everybody knows the truth or something. I'm paraphrasing, but something about like knowing the truth or not knowing anything. So I think he's annoyed that people are saying that he went for the money, but whatever. Norman Powell's gone. I think that's a big loss. But other names that we were talking about, Luke Kennard, also off the board. We said it's our sharpshooter that could possibly go over here. Dean Wade off the board. Bogdanovich off the board. Colin Sexton off the board. It's the Rui Uchimura hasn't gotten picked up. Mike Conley, which you and I weren't big fans of getting, off the board also. Like, this is how free agency goes in the NBA. You get really hyped for it, and then like 2 days later, you're like, what the hell is left? Everything has been coming and going really fast, and I'm starting to wonder. When I look at the free agents that are left, I don't necessarily see a lot of wings that we feel can take pressure off of Giannis and off of Bam. Is it becoming LeBron or bust? Like, or do we need LeBron? Because who do we have as far as a wing goes that can create their own shot, create for others, bring the ball up? I mean, I know do we have Davion Mitchell technically, but uh, is that where we're at? Are we at LeBron or bust?
Well, here's the list of players that are still available as of last night. Bradley Beal is on the list. Obviously, we know the Heat have reached out to him, but so have other teams, and so we're gonna have to wait to see what happens with Bradley Beal. Anthony Simons is a name that we've talked about a lot as well, but we know he wants more money than what the Heat can currently offer. So you have to wait and see what the market does. And if he's willing to take a little bit less to come down here and be part of a championship contender. Now you have Gary Trent Jr., somebody that Giannis is used to playing with, somebody that played in Milwaukee with him. Nick Batum is another wing. Matisse Thybulle, Seth Curry, Doug McDermott, Gabe Vincent, Middleton, Cam Thomas, Bruce Brown, Clarkson. A lot of names on this list. Not so much appealing, but I think names that the Heat are going to end up signing to fill out their roster. Now, to address the question that you're talking about, who can create their own shot? I mean, right now, you got Giannis. And obviously Davion Mitchell is the guy who's probably going to bring the ball up the court. But if you are able to get LeBron, I mean, I think it takes care of so many of those issues that, I don't see it as a LeBron or bust, but I do think that the Heat are putting a lot of stock into bringing LeBron, and that's why they've been waiting and losing out on some of these other free agents.
My worry is that we don't have somebody to take pressure off of Giannis or Bam when they're off the court, when they're on the court. I feel like you just need that wing. And we had Tyler Hero, obviously gone. We had Norman Powell, he's gone. So we had basically the same player twice, and now we got none. So that is my worry. Is it something that's crucial to the point where I'm like, oh, this is going to be a failure? No, but I do think that it's something that's interesting that we haven't addressed yet. And obviously, if we get LeBron James, that fixes that issue. But I don't know if we're going to get LeBron James. Bradley Beal, he has his injury concerns. You don't know about that. Duncan Robinson isn't that guy that I'm talking about. He's more of a shooter than a creator. But I would feel great if we can get a Duncan Robinson. But now all the word out of Detroit is he's not going to get released, at least not yet. Now, one thing that I am hopeful for is that maybe free agency comes and it'll be a week or two and we don't end up filling that need. I'm really hopeful that training camp starts and then you know how you just randomly get a surprise, like, oh, this player just randomly got bought out. Maybe Zach LaVine becomes available later on in the summer, like something like that, because from the names that you just told me, I don't see anybody that is necessarily going to make me feel better about that wing position, that two guard, that two guard essentially, that two guard position. LeBron, like I said, if he comes to play point guard, then I feel better about it. But outside of him, I think we're going to be lacking there up until training camp unless something crazy happens.
No, I agree. And not even on the wing side. When you start looking at the power rotation, Danny, right? I mean, right now you've got on the roster, you've got Bam, you've got Giannis, you've got Bobby Portis, and you've got Nikola Jovic. Those are the four guys that I can remember that are currently on the roster that would be part of the power rotation. Now you start looking at who's still available out there. Larry Nance Jr., Marvin Bagley, Kevin Love, been there, done that. Andre Drummond, maybe. Bismack Biyombo, Dwight Powell, Nick Richards, Kelly Olynyk, somebody who we're used to here in Miami. Maxi Kleber, Kevon Looney, Drew Eubanks, David Roddy, Kyle Anderson, and Tony Bradley. I mean, no name on there really stands out.
I wouldn't mind Looney.
Okay. Kevon Looney, maybe. But that's one guy out of like 15 that I just talked about.
Yeah. So we can get Precious back.
Yay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Harrison Barnes is still out there apparently. I don't know. I look at this.
Harrison Barnes already signed with. He signed a 1-year deal with
San Antonio.
Yeah, and Tobias Harris signed with San Antonio. I mean, the West is getting good. The East. I mean, we haven't talked about the trade, right? The trade of the day yesterday, which was Jaylen Brown going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now he's going to be teaming up with Maxey and with an injured Joel Embiid, I mean, does it make them better? I think it makes the Celtics worse, seeing that they got PG and picks. I think this is a good trade for the Heat.
I don't know, man. I'm glad that the Celtics are imploding. It's so it feels like, even though they were able to be one of the top 2 teams without Jason Tatum last year, with just Jaylen. So I think that taking out Jaylen Brown, putting in Jason Tatum instead, keeping that core around them, I still think they can be a top team. They added Mitchell Robinson. I don't think like everybody's like, oh, that's the Celtics are imploding. They have essentially the same exact roster. They added Mike Conley, they added Mitchell Robinson, and they're just swapping out Jaylen Brown for Jason Tatum because essentially Jason Tatum missed the most of the year when they were still the 2nd seed in the East. So I don't think the Celtics are necessarily falling apart and they're going to be a play-in team. They're still going to be a good team. My worry is what happened with Philadelphia. When you look at that, what the hell is Boston thinking? Sending them to the East Coast with a team that already has Maxey. They have VJ Edgecombe. They have Embiid, I guess, when he's healthy, but he's healthy once every month or two. But if Embiid can figure out how to stay healthy for the playoffs, the Sixers are a fucking squad, man. You're adding Jaylen Brown to Maxey and to VJ Edgecombe. Like, I think the Sixers randomly just became a legit contender in that shit. And Kawhi Leonard is all of a sudden in Toronto. I said, what the hell is happening? So the Eastern Conference is all of a sudden looking much better than they did last year.
Yeah, but I saw that the Kawhi Leonard to Toronto, and I see what the media is saying all over social media, and I don't understand how they can put them as a championship contender with Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes, like that. They traded Brandon Ingram, who was one of their best players last year, who absolutely torched the Heat every time we played.
BI3, yep.
And they get Kawhi, an older player who, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see how they become contenders in the East with just Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard, especially when you know Kawhi probably is not going to play 82 games.
I don't think that they're necessarily a championship contender, but I do think they're going to be a good team. I think that's the team that's going to win somewhere in the mid-40s. Like, they were a solid team last year. And then you add Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, I agree with you. I think Brandon Ingram might be one of the most underrated players in the league. Nobody talks about Brandon Ingram. He's solid. He's like a poor man's Kevin Durant. But you put in Kawhi. If Kawhi's healthy, Kawhi's better than Brandon Ingram. I think that the Raptors are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. But I don't think they're a championship contender. Philadelphia, on the other hand, adding Jaylen Brown to the squad that they have, I think that that's a championship contender, man. And I'm really frustrated that the Celtics would be that stupid because they just made the Eastern Conference so much better with that trade. Another name that is here, and I don't know what that guy's doing with his career, but somebody that I think has had a little bit of humble pie and might be serviceable wherever he goes next, Cam Thomas. He can give you 40 off the bench. Like I said, he had a little bit of humble pie. The Brooklyn Nets couldn't figure out how to trade him. They ended up releasing him. Went to Milwaukee. He put up like 40 in Milwaukee's first game. Somehow found himself out of the rotation. Also got cut. Didn't get traded or anything. He's had some humble pie, but he is an absolute bucket off the bench. If you need scoring, no
thanks. Pass. Give me Gabe Vincent. Give me Russell Westbrook before Cam Thomas.
Oh my God, Russell Westbrook! No, please no. Have you heard about we possibly might get Russell Westbrook, or well, not possibly, but Ben Simmons supposedly that he wouldn't mind coming over here. Dude. Could you imagine?
Ben Simmons, that guy is probably the worst NBA player in the history of the National Basketball Association.
And you know what? When he first got here, he wasn't that bad. Like, he was rookie of the year. He could defend his ass off. He has some of the best vision when you see his passing, and like he is good at everything but scoring. And when you say somebody can't score, it's like, all right, he can't score. He's not a good shooter. No. He can't score. Like he will make his way to the basket and he won't attempt a layup. And I'm not just talking about the Atlanta Hawks playoff thing. I'm talking about, I've watched him play a lot. The man is scared to shoot because he's scared of getting fouled. He will have a free pass to the basket and still dish it out to the 3-point line. Like, he is terrified. Maybe he's worked on it in the year or two that he's been away. Maybe he's watched saw a psychologist and that fixed his issues. But I also wouldn't want Ben Simmons. Although, if he fixes his problems, that's a big boy. He's like 6'10", a 6'10" point guard and a great defender. That would have been nice defensively, but no, I wouldn't want him. And I wouldn't want Russell Westbrook either.
I don't know, man. Ben Simmons is too soft to play for the Heat. He's just too soft. He doesn't have that Heat mentality. He's not a dog. So Russell Westbrook, look, I think he's had a bit of humble pie over the last few years while he continues to jump through different NBA organizations. And look,
He can't shoot.
You don't need him to shoot.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like, Giannis can't shoot. Bam has improved a little bit, but he really can't shoot either. Davion Mitchell, not necessarily a great shooter. Westbrook can't shoot. Like, we need some type of shooting. Like, when we add somebody, I hope that they're versatile and can at least, like, for example, Bruce Brown, we were talking about recently. Great defender, isn't the best 3-point shooter, but solid enough where he can stretch the floor for you already. You have to respect his shot. He shot like 33, 34, 35%. I forget, somewhere in the mid-30s. Like, Bruce Brown, Russell Westbrook can't shoot. I don't want Russell Westbrook anywhere near this team. I don't know. I'm off on the Russell Westbrook thing. So, are you worried about the way the Eastern Conference is shaping up with Philadelphia 76ers now?
No, Heat in 5. Heat in 5. Every playoff series.
Boston is still serious, in my opinion. We have Cleveland, which is whatever. I think they'll be solid, I guess. You have the Sixers. The Raptors will be okay. I don't know. I think the Heat are still top 4, but people, and you know what? And people keep talking about, oh yeah, don't worry, this is a year 2 project. No, I think the Heat are trying to win right now. They're not trying to wait till the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they're going to try to win right now, but you know, they will have a let's say some more money in the next year's summer so that they can continue to build this out. But I think the idea is win this year. That is the idea. Let's go out, field a roster that can go out and contend for a championship in 2026, 2027. And then we'll worry about the summer of 2027 when it comes, and we'll start to figure out how we continue piecing together this this new dynasty that Pat Riley is trying to put together.
I'm worried that that this team is going to be lacking something, and I do think that Pat's going all in on this year. Look, he's not at his age. He's not waiting for next year. He's going all in right now. The one piece that I think that we still have to play with is Jovic. I think that Jovic doesn't play this year for the Miami Heat. I think we figure out a way to move him for something, and that's my only hope, because I do think that this team is still missing something. And when I look in free agency, I don't see how we can achieve what we're missing unless we get LeBron James. But man, that's gaining steam. Like you said, Levitard yesterday, he said that he's hearing a lot of things about July 6th, and obviously July 6th is the day where everybody can get announced and Giannis gets announced. But he said it's more than that. It's more than just a Giannis thing, what he's hearing. And, you know, people like Levitard are plugged in, so it's exciting, man. I really hope that we have some big news coming around the corner.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And if something does come out over the next few days, we will 100% be coming on and covering it. So I'm excited, man. Again, the next 4 days leading up to July 6th. I got to be careful. With that. But the next few days leading up to July 6th are gonna be crazy, because as you can see, things are going off all day long. You have Shams bombs all day long going off with all the different trades and all the different signings happen. So we got to continue to keep our eyes open. Hopefully the Heat can make a couple of more signings here with the for the minimum, and then on July 6th, when everything is announced and all that, hopefully we're out here banging pots and pans on Bird and 87th at La Carreta, because we got another big three in LeBron, Giannis, and Bam. You think if LeBron chooses here, he'll do like another decision? Taking my talents to South Beach.
No, I think that he said that the other day. I read somewhere that he said that he felt like ESPN took advantage of him. I mean, I know he was young, but he should have known that what he was doing more or less by then. Do you think if LeBron comes, it's more than just 1 year?
I think it'll be like a 1-and-1. Like he'll sign like a 1-year deal with a player option next year, and he'll decide what he wants to do.
I think he plays 2 more seasons. No matter what he does, no matter where he goes, I think he's good for 2 more years. I can't imagine him playing into his mid-40s. Because by then he'll be what, 43, 44?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he has 2 more years in him, and then he's done. But yeah, that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Monday is going to be a big day because I do think that that's where it happens. And I saw Rich Paul said that he might play for the minimum. I can't imagine him playing for a minimum, but that would be big. Anthony Simons.
He's made a lot of money in his career. He doesn't need that.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. He could retire right now and not get paid from the NBA and still be great. So yeah, right now he's not doing it for the money. Anthony Simons, I think, is the big name that we need to look out for. I know we don't have as much money as supposedly he's going to require, but hopefully Pat can figure something out. Because I think if we get Anthony Simons, I think we start feeling a lot better. Because at the moment, all we really added was Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bobby Portis, and obviously Giannis. I'm going to forget Giannis.
Pat, you just got to call Anthony up, FaceTime him, and just throw the rings on the table.
I think that's overrated. I don't think that shit works like people think.
Hell yeah, it does. Trust me, it works.
It hasn't worked until Giannis.
It worked.
How many times has he tried it, though? It hasn't worked before.
What do you mean, man? What do you mean? If we could start going back all the way, look at all the different guys that he's brought here that have been in their prime. And have been, I don't want to say
Butler
stars, but LeBron, Bosh, Jimmy Butler, now Giannis, Zoe, Tim Hardaway. I mean, the list just continues to go on, and they continue to show that they can retool, and he continues to bring in big players.
I agree, but it's not the rings. It's not the rings that are bringing these people. I agree. He's done it, right? He traded for Shaq. He traded for Giannis. He brought in Jimmy. I get it, but it wasn't the rings. That whole, I'm going to sit down and throw the rings on there. That shit didn't work with Kevin Durant. Didn't work with Kyrie Irving. Didn't work with...
That's because those guys don't want to win, man.
That's fair. Look, and I think that if you want to win, you come to Miami. So, LeBron, come here, go out on top, and finish your storybook career here in Miami, which is what I'm really hoping. And the more time passes, the more I feel like it's really going to happen. I just don't want to get my hopes too high up.
Yeah, not to get into the drama, but did you read? And I don't know how real this is, and maybe it's fake. But I read something that apparently LeBron James was having an affair with one of his teammates' moms. Is that true?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't heard anything like that. I haven't heard anything like that. I was having a conversation with my wife the other day about how LeBron James, I'm surprised that he's been able to stay away from just drama and controversies throughout his majority of his career. Because when you think about it, with social media and everything and the level of celebrity, not just sports, but just in general celebrity he is, that he's managed to stay away. Because could you imagine Michael Jordan in the era of social media with all his gambling and all that other stuff? He would have been in so many scandals. I mean, R.I.P. Kobe, but even Kobe found himself in some mess in the early 2000s. It's crazy. LeBron has managed to keep himself away from all that. So I haven't heard anything about him being unfaithful and being caught or anything like that. But no, I hadn't heard anything like that. But that's what I like about LeBron, that he manages to steer clear of all that stuff.
Yeah, so far. I mean, I know his time in Miami had a little bit of drama, and that might have had to do with one of the reasons why he had to leave Miami.
My wife was telling me also.
I personally know one of the folks responsible. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, no, my wife was telling me the same thing. I was like, man, leave LeBron alone. My wife doesn't want LeBron back.
I went to high school with her.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No, LeBron doesn't want. My wife doesn't want LeBron back. She's a little kind of like you. She doesn't like the fact that he left, so she's like, F that guy. I was like, man, I'll bring him back. Bring him back.
And I like your wife. She's a baller.
Yeah, bring him back. All right, if you're listening on bring him back. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please 5 stars in a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subs, so please do us a solid and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be back with either new news breaks or just in general keeping up with free agency. So until the next one, which will be episode 100, Jesus, have a good one.